Hi knitters! In this video, I'd like to demonstrate how you can bind off without using any of your working yarn. So why would you want to do this? Well, the most common reason is that you've run out of yarn and you simply don't have enough to complete your bind off. There is another reason you may want to use this technique, and that's because you struggle with tension while you're binding off, and you'd like a more consistent look on your edge. So let's do this. You can work this bind off flat or in the round. So first I'm going to demonstrate how to work it flat. I have to do a little setup here because I want my working yarn, do you see how I don't have enough to finish my bind off? I want my working yarn to be positioned at the end of the needle. So I'm going to go ahead and slip all my stitches from the left needle to the right. Okay, so now you can see my working yarn is at the end of my needle and I am ready. So I'm going to first slip 2 stitches over to my right needle and then slip the second one over the first, just like that. Okay. I'm going to slip the next stitch, slip that second stitch over the first, and I'm just going to keep doing this until I get to the end. It's not all that different from a typical bind off. You just don't have any yarn that you're working with. You're not knitting those stitches before you slip them over. And now we're at the very end, and just going to tighten these up a little bit. Once I slip that last stitch over, I will take my working yarn and I'll just put it through that loop and give it a little tug. As you can see, I have this neat and tidy bind off. I do want to mention that if you are working flat on circular needles, the setup is going to be a little different. Actually, it's going to be a little easier. So all you need to do is slide your work to the other end of your needles and turn it around, and that puts you in position to start your bind off. Now we're going to work this in the round. And I'm not really working in the round. I've just set it up on my needles so it looks like I am. So let's imagine this is the end of my round, and here's my working yarn. And as you can see, I don't have enough to work. Let's say I had an entire round here, I wouldn't have enough to work this. So I'm going to slip those first 2 stitches, and just as before, I'm going to lift the second stitch over the first. Then I'm going to slip another stitch, slip it over, slip another stitch, slip it over, and I'm just going to keep going, same as working this bind off flat. And then when you get to the end, you do the same thing. You just slip that working yarn through the loop, and then you're good to go.